All right. Welcome back to Inside with Brett Hawk. I'm a swim nerd. We're all swim nerds. Today on the live show, we've got Energy Standard coach, the swimsuit guy, Sonny. What's up, buddy?
Good evening, all. I'm glad to be back on. It feels like it's been forever.
It has been forever, mate. Where you been?
I've been working till 9 p.m. every night. Now it's half term and 2 more weeks in the UK, then off to Eindhoven, doing a little bit of international coaching stuff. So it should be good fun. And what a medal you got there. Bruno gave you that.
Bruno, mate. Bruno gave me the best fake medal you've ever seen in your life, mate. Hey, look at that. It's heavy too, mate. It's heavy. It's real. It's real good stuff.
It does feel real. I took a picture and sent it to some people, and everyone thought I was really holding an Olympic medal.
Yeah.
Fooled them all.
Yeah.
You know who it didn't fool? Bruce Gemmell looked at him and was like, wait a second. The event is supposed to be inscribed on this thing.
Yeah, he picked it. He was like, the event's not there. I'm like, you son of a gun. Yeah, you're right.
How do you know?
I don't know. But yeah, we're back, guys. We're back. Back in action. So this is fun. Lots to talk about. Sorry we missed everybody, but we are back. A lot of good stuff, mate.
Well, last week we were on the road again, talking to Olympic coach from Nation's Capital, Bruce Gemmell. So if you didn't see that podcast that dropped 2 days ago, a lot of stuff about Katie Ledecky in there, who he obviously coached during the 2016 games. Some stuff about club swimming and age group development that definitely a broader coaching base will find useful, I believe. But let's jump into it. You guys watch Doha?
Joe, hey? Joe's dropping some. Is Joe next door? Is he staying with you? Who's Joe?
Joe's an old teammate of mine. He's a good lad.
Yeah, of course he is.
Cheers, Joe.
What are we doing? Fina World Cups. We're on that?
Yeah, Doha.
Talk to us, Sonny.
I'm Shields from the United States, and I did the 100 fly, and I got a gold medal.
Well, we were just talking a little bit about the World Cup before we started, and I think the headlines is there's been some really fast swims. Matt Sates from South Africa has been unreal. I think it was the first time Sun Woo of Korea swam short course meters. He set like national records in every other event and was super fast. Yulia Efimova was back racing. Obviously cannot do the ISL. And Chalmers 45.0, which we've got a special segment for. So at the top end, it's been ridiculously fast. But been a real lack of participants. Some heats, some being straight finals with 6, 7, 4, 5 swimmers, which is a shame because they're giving money to the top 20 swimmers at the meet. So you'd like to see more people there.
Well, I saw a lot of names that were getting cash, and I thought, well, that's pretty nice because I've never heard of these people. So at least some people are getting paid to show up, you know?
Yeah. What's the way to get there? I guess you got to go with either your federation pays or you kind of go as an individual and pay yourself. So either way, someone's got to pay to get there. I think that's the difference between the ISL and Fina. Yeah, Fina are offering pretty decent money to show up and compete and win, but you know, you still got all the other costs, the hidden costs, the flights, the hotels, the food, which is taken care of by the ISL and not by Fina. So big differences there. But yeah, some events were just lacking. You know, 4 swimmers in one event. Everybody comes away with prize money. You said one of the girls came away with a bunch of cash, eh?
Yeah. No, it's great to see as well. Like Molly from Hamilton Aquatics in Dubai. She's a great up and coming swimmer, represents Ireland. But you know, getting decent prize money and you know, it's a great opportunity, but it's also like, you know, there's a lot higher level swimmers still out there. I'm not putting anyone down here. It's just, you know, a lot of people coming away with a lot of money, which you wouldn't expect maybe instantly.
Yeah. We're going to watch Kyle Chalmers swim this race.
Oh yeah, sure.
Oh, perfect. Yeah. Here we go. Let's watch Chalmers.
You reckon this world record's going soon?
Yeah, it has to be, mate. They're just peppering it. They're playing with it, you know. Chalmers isn't known for his skills, you know, his start, his turns. but just a super strong man. Obviously putting in time and effort to improve. Look at that. He's kicking out there at least 3 or 4 dolphin kicks off the wall. So he's not popping straight up. He's definitely improved those skills. Takes it out like a machine. What's he out in there? Like
1.6.
1.6. Yeah, it's quick, mate.
under world record split. You know.
He just doesn't fade much, does he? I guess the suit probably helps here at the back end of this race, kind of holding Amory Laveau up a little bit higher to hold that world record speed. But Chalmers right on it, mate. Closes like a machine.
I reckon one of the things that helps Chalmers is like he's not an all-out like sort of 50 guy who needs to know breath, so he can go almost on his PB, breathing every 2 or whatever he does. Like he went 21.0 in the individual 50 here, so 21.6 to feet is nigh on the same thing. Yet he's breathing and can back end off that. So that's the sort of thing he has going for him, that he doesn't have sort of that all-out 50 sort of style. Like his 50 is almost like 100 front end. So I think that benefits and plays into his hand a little bit. And
he's had a sniff of both the long course world record and the short course one now. He's right there. He's probably due for a good world record, Kyle Chalmers. So
he's never had one, has he? I'm not mistaken. He's never had a world record.
That's a fun fact. I think you might be right.
Well, he hasn't. He hasn't got Cesar Cielo's. No one's got that. And then Amory Laveau's is just as old. So what other world record would he have got?
Not the 50.
Not the 50.
I reckon. I was pretty gutted he didn't do the 200 freestyle at this one. Like he went a 140 a couple of stops ago. Like you've got to feel like he's pretty sharp on the 200 free short course, right? With that 100 free long course pedigree, and I mean that's still a ridiculous world record 139.2 from Paul Biederman. But
I think he's got one of the best flutter kicks in the world, especially that last 25. I'd like to see what he could do on a 50 kick with a board.
I'll tell you,
Eddie Reese 50 long course.
He was training at Stirling, right? For like about 2 weeks ago for like 10 days with some of the Aussie guys who, like the ISL London Raw guys, went and trained at Stirling with Steve Tigg. And actually, the fastest 50 kicker on a board was Zach Inserter. He went 26.4, I think. I've got a video of it actually. I don't know if I can share it, but 26.4 with a board, short course.
What do you mean?
One arm points per turn.
What do you mean? You don't know if you can share? Of course you can share. It's your video.
Can I share my screen?
Share it right now. I thought you were going to do a vlog about it.
No. I didn't take the video. My mate sent it to me, but
right.
I might be able to share it.
Maybe.
Let me see what I can do.
Pretty quick short course, eh? Yeah. Well, we're going to get some long course. I think we should do that. I think we should set a challenge to the world's best swimmers out there. Let's see what you can go 50 long course with a board and kind of record it, and let's get a little competition.
I love it
Going up around the world.
Sonny, you heard Eddie Reese's little part in our montage video of him going around on pole deck at the Olympics, asking each one of everyone, like, how fast are you on a board? How fast are you in a 50 kick? He wanted to know.
I can hear something. What's that?
Yeah, like I'm downloading this video. I might be able to share it. I don't know how it all works here.
Oh, okay.
Well,
yeah. I can hear it.
I can see it, but I can't show it.
That's all right.
We'll save it for next time.
Get a little vlog up there, and we'll send it out as a vlog, mate.
Yeah.
You did the dive and glide, which got you 150,000 views. I
don't understand anything on social media anymore.
Nah, makes
it's
no
all
sense.
ridiculous.
Makes no sense. But all right.
What else makes no sense? The shenanigans going on in the ISL. I wouldn't call them shenanigans. I'd just say like some people are rumoring boycott, and other people are like, don't worry about it.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, I'm going to talk on this a little bit. I've had some private conversations with some people on the deep inside. You know, I've got a lot of friends around the world, which is nice, you know, and they love our platform. They love what we're doing. They trust us, but you know, and it's, I've been critical in the past, and that's okay. I mean, it's okay to kind of say, hey, there's some things not right here. And kind of point those out. But you know what? I was reminded today from a few people, like I said, deep on the inside, that there's a lot of things that are really going well with the ISL. First of all, we're about to watch some really fast swimming here in the next couple of weeks. We're about to see the best swimmers in the world get together and compete on teams and be very competitive. I mean, that's exciting in and of itself. I was reminded today that in the last 2 years, $12.7 million has gone to direct payments for swimmers. That money has been paid out. There is some money that is lagging. It's a couple of $100,000, but when you're talking about 12.7 actually has already been paid out, I think that's been overlooked a little bit. And that's more money than swimmers have made in the last 30 years in prize money. You know, so there are really good things. And I've always said I do not want the ISL to go away. I've always also said too that I've had some people that you know, are certainly struggling and could use the money, you know, and that money is lagging a little bit, but a lot of it has been paid out. And there's a lot of really good things that the ISL are doing. I think it's very easy for people like me on the outside to jump on it and be critical at times. But we've also got to take a deep breath here and say, we don't want this to go away. The fact that Sonny and top coaches in the world and top swimmers in the world are even being paid to live in Italy for a period of 5-6 weeks, you know, like we're just talking about the World Cup, how people aren't turning up to that because you got to pay for it. These athletes, hundreds of them, will pay to go and live in Italy for 6 weeks. Imagine the expense of hotels and flights and food and all of that went into just having the event itself and having those athletes show up. So look, it's easy to be critical, but I don't want this thing to go away. We want it to continue. I think the ISL, from what I understand, know that they've made a couple of, you know, hiccups, mistakes, and they do need to get better. But that doesn't mean the whole thing is a disaster by any means. The whole thing is very, very successful, but there's things that they need to get better. And I just want to keep reiterating that. We love the ISL. We want it to continue. Keep paying people. Try and be better with on time. But, you know, a lot of money has gone out. So let's just stick onto that for a second.
Well, it's hard to yell at someone that's reached into their wallet and paid out 40 million bucks already, right? He's lost $40 million, this guy, in the last couple of years.
Yeah.
He's going to probably lose another 20 million this year. So one man is paying everybody to try to get this thing up and running.
Mm-hmm.
Got to get the revenue in the door. That's another issue besides the point. But yeah, this guy's, how can you bite the hand that's feeding you, so to speak?
Yeah. I mean, Sonny, you've had, just in terms of your experience, it's been incredible, right?
Honestly, like one of the girls who swims down in Plymouth, she's on Toronto Titans, and we had her around for a car out the other day. And my dad was just chatting with her, and he said, "Hey, like, how was the Olympics? How was the ISL and all of this?" And she said, like, the Olympics was everything she's dreamed of. Obviously, trying to be a first-time Olympian, but she said, experience-wise, the ISL was better. And I think that sort of sums up how good the ISL is. Like, people loved it, and there's so many reasons. Like, just the opportunity to live in a wonderful place like Naples for 5 weeks and explore and get time to see that. Train outdoors for people that don't have the opportunities in some of the colder countries. Race the best athletes in the world every single week. Train with the best athletes. Like, I love swimming of all aspects, but the level of excitement on deck every day, every practice, not just from our team, but the other teams we're seeing as well. Like, it's just crazy. It's maddening. Like, I remember we just finished, Klim had just come out of the gym, and we're watching Caleb Dressel and Justin Resch try and dive over the flags. And then he tried a somersault over the flags. And, you know, this is the sort of thing that's happening every day. And everyone is truly loving it. Like, people might be a little annoyed they've not been paid on time, and I think rightly so, but people are loving the experience at the ground level. And the fact that also then there's an opportunity to earn a lot of money on top of that just means it's even better, right? So I'm massively pro ISL, and yeah, I hope it sticks around because, well, now I'm part of it. It would be really handy.
Well, again, like I said, the majority of the payments have been paid already. The $12.7 million has directly gone to swimmers in the last couple of years. It has gone to them already. they are waiting on a payment here or there. Some of them, but that doesn't mean that none of them have been paid. I don't want to get that to be mixed up here.
And what do you do? What are you just going to boycott? And then it's really over. I mean, if you boycott, there's no chance of getting paid. There's no chance of the next season. It's probably just kaput. So it's like, what do you do?
Yeah. I mean, he's always paid. That's what I've been told by people on the inside that are there, that love it. He has always paid. Some of them are late, but the majority of them have always been paid, and people do not want this to go away, including myself. So let's focus on the excitement of the ISL. Let's focus on the positivity of it right now. I mean, if things become some sort of tragic mess, then we're going to talk about it for sure. We're not being paid by the ISL to say positive stuff or negative stuff. It's like we're just going to give our opinions, but the fact of the matter is there's a lot of really good stuff going on, and we should focus on it. I'm excited about the racing coming up the next few weeks.
All right. European women real quick.
What in specific about them?
We did, Brett and I just did some votes for Swimmer of the Year.
For Swimming World.
And I think we were both like really surprised, and you're going through all the African swimmers, all the European swimmers, the Pacific Rim swimmers, the Americas swimmers. And it was very noticeable. There was not a single gold medal coming out of Europe for women.
Individually, yeah. Not a single individual women's gold medal at the Olympics. I was very surprised by that. I thought, as I was reading through it, trying to put my votes in, I was like, no way. Like, what? Not a single one. Now, that's not to say they didn't win medals and didn't perform well, but just in terms of gold medals, there wasn't one in Tokyo by a European woman. Surprised.
Yeah, definitely surprised.
It's a crazy
Any
statistic.
thoughts on that,
That's crazy.
Sonny? Yeah.
I know, like, there's obviously some brilliant women European swimmers. You've got your likes of Sarah Strostrom, Pernilla Bloom, Ranami Kwamajojo. But like, I guess they swim similar events. There's
Katinka.
a little bit of hardship. Katinka, of course, and I think without again not being nasty, but there's not really been any big breakthrough younger European swimmers, women swimmers, in the last sort of 5 years. The girls that are good, or the women that are good, they've been good for a long time. And Katinka can't win gold medals forever. Ranami can't win gold medals. She was the double Olympic champion in 2012. Pernilla can't win gold medals forever. Like Sarah, she will win gold medals again. I'll say that, but again, can't win them forever. So, the elbow was massive, and the fact she come and got medals in itself was phenomenal. And she went like 23-1 the other day at ISL. She's brilliant. Sarah's brilliant. But like, I think there needs to be a breakthrough of some next generation European women, and that's probably where they're lacking. Like,
yeah, the big winners were Australia, China, Japan, and America on the women's side at the Olympics. Though the four kind of nations that really dominated.
Yeah, I mean, Australia has Emma McKeon, Kayla McCune, and Titmus.
Ariane Titmus, yeah.
I mean, each one of them won multiple gold medals.
And each one of them could go again in 3 years.
Yeah. So I think you hit the nail on the head there, Sonny. I think we haven't seen these young up-and-coming swimmers out of Europe, specifically female swimmers. Pilato maybe, but that's like a 50 breaststroke.
Yeah, she got work to do.
Anyways, I thought it was interesting.
Yeah.
Europe, you got to show up.
I shouldn't talk over Evgenia Chikhanova. She come fourth at the Olympics in the 200 breast, and she looks absolutely incredible every time I've seen her race. So that's my next European gold medalist, Evgenia Chikhanova.
Oh, that's a good pick, because I think I had her ranked number 4 for European women this past year.
Fair enough.
Who did you have number 1?
Sjöström.
I had Sjöström too. Yeah,
can't argue with that.
I mean, she's number 1 without an injury, but she was certainly number 1 with an injury as well. Like coming off what she did. I mean, that's sick. It's ridiculous to break your elbow like that and have all those screws and plates put in, and then come back and win Olympic silver. Come on, man. That's a performance of a lifetime right there.
Incredible.
Yeah. Good for
All
her.
right, short course world championships, Abu Dhabi. Couple of things. Japan's not coming. All right, so they're out. I think this is just kind of plays into like what you're seeing at the World Cup and what you're seeing at where people are like 2 weeks of quarantine to get back in. It's just a lot of headache. It might be 2 weeks of quarantine when you get there. Then Japan said, "Hey, we're out. We're not going to send anybody." So again, you're leaving an entire country that is good at swimming behind. It's just going to open up more spots for more people to show up and earn more money.
Mate, there's cash on this meet. I'm telling you, there's a lot of people that are going to bypass this thing. And, you know, we talk about the professionalism of swimming. They're putting money out there. There's money to be won. A lot of athletes say they don't have much or, you know, haven't won much in their lifetime. There's money on this thing. And I'm doing everything I can to try and get to this meet and win some cash.
Yeah. All you have to do is enter, I think, sometimes in some of those heats. So
I'll just
get back in that drug
checked.
testing pool, Brett.
Not me personally, but what's Sonny?
$2.8 million. I just checked the number. That's how much there is in prize money at this World Short Course meet. 2.8 million. I think that's double any World Champs long course ever before. So there's
The
more
cash
money.
is not only. It's not only for world records. That's wrong.
No,
No. There's extra cash for world records. If you go a world record, you get 50 grand as a bonus, but certainly not. It's not the only cash.
No, $2.8 million of prize money for individual events.
Mm-hmm. Yep,
That's
I'm
crazy.
trying to get there. We've been doing some campaigning too for trying to get a couple of American athletes on that team in the past few podcasts. Tom Shields, we've been campaigning for him, and
Coleman Stewart.
Coleman for sure. We put out a campaign.
Peter Nelson.
Peter, yeah, and I think we had some success with. I know at least one person that we may have had some success with. So feeling pretty good about our campaign so far. We'll keep pressing forward.
USA Swimming still hasn't put out their qualification. I mean, they haven't put out
team,
who's made the team yet, right?
No, I think they're going through their lists of people to get approval or denials or so they go down a list of like first response. Do you want it? No. Like I spoke directly to Lilly King, and the podcast will come out early next week, and she said she's not going. So like you go Lilly King, and then okay, who's the next best? Do you want it? Okay, do you want it? So it takes time. I understand why they're taking their time with it to get the right team, but they're going down their list right now.
Why doesn't Lilly want to go?
She said she is happy with her ISL racing. She doesn't really care about the money that's being put up. She's raced a lot. She didn't take a break after the Olympics. She went straight into training, which I was very surprised by. We had a really good conversation. Again, it's going to come out on Monday. We had a great discussion with Lilly King. She was very open. I love it. She says she's learned a lot from saying some certain things, but she's also not afraid to say things, so it's like she's got personality, and I like it a lot. But I think she's pretty tired, and I think she sees the next 3 years, and she wants to spend Christmas with the family, just not really competing. So that was it.
Interesting. I thought she's gonna go make some money.
She's making money, man.
I've got the prize money here. It's 15 grand from a win, 12 grand for silver, 10 grand for third, and it's down to 3 grand for 8th place.
Yeah, do you want to take that back, Maserati? 15 grand for a win, mate. It's nothing to sneeze at.
So, that's 5 grand more for a win than last Worlds, and actually third place at this Worlds will win more than what won last World. So you get more for getting bronze than you used to get for gold. So it's going in the right direction.
Bronze pays, baby. Bronze pays.
You can thank the ISL for this too.
Yeah,
to be honest, like they certainly have pushed Fina to pay the athletes. In the entire conversation, I think the most important thing is what the swimmers union is doing to better the athletes, whether it's ISL and getting paid, or Fina, you know, actually putting forth money. If they have $150 million in the bank, they kind of just been keeping it small potatoes for so long. We needed the ISL to come in and push them forward, and you're seeing more money come out of there. So it's at the end of the day, it's all good.
I'm not sure what the answer is here. I think we asked Matt Sates about it. I think he was going to go, right, but he's also contemplating going to Georgia in January. I think that decision's still up in the air. So I think he's got a lot on his plate. He's doing these World Cups, making cash. Popovich, not sure. Can't remember if he's doing it or not. I know
Hafnaoui's going.
Hafnaoui's going.
What did he just go this morning? What did he just swim?
He won the Arab Championships 342 short course.
About the same long course.
But he won by like 14 seconds or 12 seconds. So,
yeah, swimming by himself a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, moving on. We've got a couple of retirements, or maybe one retirement and maybe half of a retirement. But Kosuke Hagino from Japan is officially he's done. He's hanging up that Speedo. I don't know what he's going to do in his non-swimming life, but he's got a few gold. He's got a medal of every color. 2016 Olympic champion in the 400 IM. First time someone won the 400 IM in a long time that wasn't an American named Michael Phelps. And he got silver in the 200 IM in 2016. So it was good to have you. Sad to see you leaving so early. He's still such a young guy, I think. Was he 26?
Yeah.
Born in 1994. He's 27.
You know much about him, Sonny?
I don't know much about him at all. But I know he's a good swimmer. I still remember the podcast you done with James Guy, and he told you about that set he done when he come to Millfield, and that's still the most absurd thing I've ever heard. Like, I'm sure you've seen some stuff in training. I've seen some stuff in training, but yeah, that set that James described was just outrageous. Maybe that has something to do with his early retirement. Maybe he just works so bloody hard that he can't maintain that level of intensity. But great swimmer.
Yeah, he might have some injuries or something lingering. 27 is pretty young. He does some of those tough events. Not a big guy. He's like an average guy, like not even 6 feet tall for sure, you know? So, and then the other one is Mark Schubert, you know, the legendary, sometimes polarizing, sometimes controversial American Olympic coach who's been on, I don't even know how many Olympic staffs, 6, something like that, maybe more. He's coached loads and loads of Olympians. He's retiring from Mission Viejo. Just got off the ASCA board. Seems like he might be maybe hanging it up for good, or maybe he's looking for something new. So he's got 3 years to Paris. I guess we'll see where he lands.
Yeah, I don't know much about the situation of him leaving. I have heard some word on the street that he might be popping up somewhere again in Southern California, but we'll see. I don't know. Good luck to him. He's had a great career, and we'll see what happens from here. But interesting stuff. I do want to go back to one thing you just said there, Nate, about Hagino swimming the tough events. I'm not sure what you mean by that, mate. Is there an easy event that he should have picked? What are you referring to?
I mean, he's a 400 IMer, baby.
What does that mean?
It means it's a tough event.
It's a tough event compared to what?
The 50 freestyle.
Bull snizzle. Was he in the gym lifting what we're lifting? Mate, I was putting a car over my head every day, right?
Yeah,
squatting a car over my head, you know, to get off that block as quickly as I could. Yeah, and you're telling me that's not tough?
I mean, it's tough in its own way. It's just not training for a 400 IM.
I always laugh at it. I'm like, you know, people that think the 50's easy, you know, Bruno Fratis goes 21.2. I'm lucky enough to coach him. Try going 21.2 in the 50 and tell me that's not tough, mate.
That go sub 410 in the 400 IM long course. Ow.
Boring. Who'd want
it.
All right, who do we got on the podcast this week?
We have Amanda Beard coming tomorrow. I kind of surprised people a little bit here because I was talking about how I've got Lilly King. I talked about her on my Instagram, but didn't really give away the fact that we have I had Amanda, right before her. So in the last few weeks, we've had the current 200 breast world record holder. We've had an Olympic champion, Amanda Beard, in 2004. And then we have one of the current world record holder in the 100 coming up on Monday. So like all these female breaststrokers coming through the podcast and sharing their stories been a lot of fun. So Amanda's amazing, great story. I mean, a lot to talk about. Obviously, long career, and some of it has been talked about at length. I mean, she's written books. We know a lot about Amanda, but I think she was very personal on this one and very willing to share. I loved it, getting to know her more, and I think she's just one of those legends of the sport, mate. Sonny, you remember watching Amanda at all? Is she a little too old for you?
The majority of her career was a little bit before my time. My first standout memories of watching swimming were Beijing. So she was sort of Athens and back all the way to Atlanta, wasn't she? So a little bit before my time.
Yeah.
But I know who she is, and I must have watched Ray's videos countless times. So I know what she done.
She's more my age. I think like when I was a kid, she was a kid, and I watched her like with her teddy bear, go behind the blocks at the Olympics. And I think I was a year younger. So I was probably 13 and she was 14. I'm just thinking, what in the world? How is she swimming at the Olympics?
Yeah.
14 years old.
Talk about that a lot, but one of the real interesting stories coming out of this podcast is 2000. She was not picked to make that team. She was swimming very poorly. She wasn't picked to make the team at the trials, and then she goes ahead and wins the bronze medal at the Olympics. So she talks to us about her performance at the Sydney Olympics, the moments before she goes out to win a medal. Again, she was completely written off. She's in lane 8 and barely scraped into the final, but shouldn't have even been in the final. And then she had a conversation with head coach at Arizona.
Frank Bush,
yes, thank you. And she talks to us about this moment. Frank has this coaching moment with her right before she goes out to win this medal. It's very, very interesting. A good insight into the psyche of one of the best athletes, in female swimming history. But to see herself pull herself out of whatever she was in to get out there and perform the way she did, it's a really good insight into the conversation between a swimmer and an athlete, a coach and an athlete. So check this one out tomorrow. I think you're going to learn a lot from it. Great podcast. Amanda, thank you for being on the podcast. It was great. Lilly King Monday, Amanda Thursday, Lilly King next Monday. So back to back. Boom, boom.
And then ISL in 2 weeks. When are you flying out?
Not this weekend, the weekend after.
Gotcha.
Mate, good for you, hey? Congrats. This is awesome.
All right.
Exciting. You guys going to win the whole thing?
Oh, I bloody hope so. I don't like losing, Brett. I think we can. It's going to be interesting to see what the teams look like compared to Naples. We were talking about the other day. You were saying LA are going to bring some people in. I'm sure Kelly are. We should have a couple extra swimmers. So, they make an impact, these different swimmers. And
there's been a lot of talk since you went out there and started doing behind the scenes. Everybody's talking about how every team needs a new Sonny. Someone, and I believe that's true. They should have someone that's just dedicated to social media, doing behind the scenes. And
I'm still coaching twice a day as well, mate. I'm still.
Oh, I know.
I'm still coaching the sessions as well.
I totally understand. That's why I said they need a Sonny that's not like also a coach. They just
Someone-
need a social media person that's just in charge of videotaping and putting out content from behind the scenes for every single one
Well,
of these teams.
I kind of disagree. What I like about Sonny, he's got the relationships with the athletes. He understands what to film and what not, what to put out there. I think Sonny's got a real eye for it, which I think is great. I think they need more Sonnys. You're right. I think each team needs someone who's got the inside with the athletes, who the athletes are fully prepared to kind of open up to him and share whatever they need to share. And then he's also got the eye for like, hey, let's film this. Let's look at this. So some great stuff coming out of there, mate. Keep it up. I think you're groundbreaking. I think.
Cheers, cheers, guys.
Good stuff. We'll keep promoting it for everybody, pumping it out. So
For sure.
all right, loved it.
Good to see
good
you guys.
Yeah.
Cheers.
Hey, I'm Tom Shields from the United States, and I did the 100 fly, and I got a gold medal.
Or Breck out of bronze.
Yeah.
See you next week.